today we're going to be talking with Adam Shepski he's the executive director and missionary at Disciple a City, and he's here to share about a new evangelism campaign that they're doing nationwide, and they're having an incredible impact on how we as a community of believers can come together. So thank you, Adam, for being here today. We're so grateful.
Emily, this is the best. I'm very thankful to be here.
Well, you've been on the show before, sharing about Disciple a City. So why don't you just, for anybody that may be new or didn't see that episode, why don't you share a little bit about the vision and mission of Disciple a City?
Absolutely. So Disciple a City primarily exists to equip Canadian believers in how to share the gospel and then how to disciple a new believer. So across Canada, gospel sharing is very low. So we just want to see the Canadian church look evangelistic again and behave like that as well, is to actually bring the gospel message to people who've never heard or responded to Jesus before.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Amazing. And this year, in April, you're launching a new campaign, 100K Harvest.
Yes.
So tell us about that. What's the aim? What's the hope, the vision for that across the nation?
It is a wild idea. So we were like, can we reach 100,000 Canadians with the gospel message through individual believers and churches right across Canada? This vision came to my wife and I. We were like, we just need to see more people responding to Jesus. So can we mobilize like 200 churches? Can we mobilize cities? Can we mobilize people to share Jesus? So with that, we launched this 100K Harvest, which is doing that very thing. So there'll be outreaches happening everywhere, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. What a vision, right? But this nation and this time, it's so important to share the gospel and the hope of Jesus, what you're doing. So part of that strategy is the Evangelist Blitz Days. Yeah. So describe, when you hear that, you're like, what does that mean? Tell us about that. What's the hope and aim for that?
Absolutely. Okay, so to reach 100,000 Canadians and mobilize all these churches across Canada, we are actually hosting evangelistic blitz days in every major city across Canada.
Wow. Okay.
So right now we have 26 cities and a city leader who'll be mobilizing local churches. And then each of those cities will be doing evangelism blitz days 3 to 4 times in each city.
Okay.
So therefore, like in Vancouver, Saskatoon, Regina, wherever, these major cities will be calling people together and saying, today is the day we're going to go bring the gospel message to as many people as possible.
Okay.
So that's what will be happening from June to November this year. There'll be hundreds of people going out in each city sharing Jesus.
Okay, so you're doing the equipping, the empowering, and then the sending out through these blitz days.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
and this is your goal of reaching 100,000 is going to happen.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I love it. Well, a way that you're helping us to track or even see how we can support. Maybe we can't be a part of these blitz days, but we can support you is through an app you're developing. So why don't you tell us about that? Why are you doing that? How is that going to help this initiative, this campaign?
Totally. So we're developing an app to track every gospel share. So anyone who's connected to this 100K Harvest, you can download the app. So anyone at home, anywhere in Canada, will access it and will see in real time how many people who have heard the gospel.
Wow, that's incredible.
So when I think about this, the idea of like, you'll see like 700 and then like 14,000, and then it'll just keep going up through and when we launch it, which will be April 25th.
Okay.
So which is so cool. So then the app also has simple gospel sharing strategies, tools, discipleship resources. So any believer who's participating will actually have the resources they need to actually share the gospel and then again start discipling a new believer when someone gives their life to Jesus.
Okay,
so
I love that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and
so
awesome.
You can reach individuals, churches, everything through this. So what if someone wants to get involved? They're not sure if their local church is involved. Like, how can they do that?
Absolutely. So they could just go to 100kharvest.ca. And that'll take you to the landing page. You'll get all the information. You can join the mailing list. That'll give you, or eventually we'll send all the information about the app, which will help mobilize individuals, churches, organizations to share the gospel with a minimum of 100,000 people this year. Yeah.
And Adam, why do you think this is so important now for the nation of Canada, for the local church to get involved in this?
It's a great question. Like your and my life were changed when we heard the gospel message, right? So I just think like there's no greater thing that we could ever offer someone else than sharing Jesus. Like it's his life has transformed ours.
Yeah.
So I think we need to honor what he paid for on the cross by sharing the gospel with people we know and people we don't know yet.
Yeah.
And so I think for Canada in this time, like Canadians need to be known for boldness again.
Yeah.
And we
love
need
that.
to be known for hope and revival and the victory of Jesus. And so if we, and I find like when we step into evangelism, we meet God and we meet him as the Lord of the harvest,
Yeah.
who's longing to save and redeem and heal people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. Any last thing that you would say to someone who's maybe watching, is like, I don't know about this. How can I begin to get involved or even have the right resources to know how to evangelize? What would you say to them?
Yeah. Say like every Christian, when we get born again,
Yeah.
we get born again with the Spirit of God who is deeply evangelistic. Right. So all of us want to share the gospel, but we sometimes don't know how.
Yeah.
So I would just encourage anyone watching today, like share your story, like learn how to share it. You visit our website. There's many other ministries across Canada who will help equip you to share your story or share the gospel. So get a simple tool, but learn how to just say, this is what Jesus has done for me, and he wants to do something similar for you. And just in that very simple exchange of life, it becomes hope and bread for people who are longing for him.
I love that. Sharing your story, how practical that is to know this is what God did in my life and he can do that too. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing today. We're praying for you, cheering you on,
Likewise.
and believing that God is going to have a great impact through Disciple City. So thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you want more information on the 100K Harvest or Disciple a City, you can go to 700club.ca.